Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today. Apparently, I'm doing the final episode review of Zankyou no Terror. I'm pretty surprised. I'm like, the hell? Because episode 12 or 13, I figured be the end date. Episode 11 is the end date. And it's over. It's done. The entire series is over. This is the final episode. And that's obvious. But the ending of this episode... oh, man. Like, I don't know if it was just me. Maybe you feel the same way. But this episode really makes me hate America. Because, like, that was such a dick. That was a massive dick move. You have Shibasaki. He's there. He has his gun now. You're under arrest. And that was the whole endgame. Sphinx. The reason why they went through all this is because they wanted to get all eyes on them. Where they came from, what is their end game, their history, so on and so forth. And then you have Shibasaki, you're thinking, okay, fine, so he's going to bring him in, and then they're going to confess to the world, and so on and so forth. But in comes good old-fashioned America, with their helicopters and ding, snipe. And I'm like, oh, they killed 12. They sniped him, bro. I don't know what I just said. I didn't say anything. I just mumbled. What the hell happened? That wasn't cool because, first of all, you have just Lisa, 9, and 12. They're playing soccer, listening to music, having some fun. I mean, you have 12 looking like damn Pele. Like, yeah, kicking the ball around. Cool, look at me. And then in comes Shibasaki in the middle of the night. And then everything looks A-okay. And, of course, as usual, the bully of the world, America, comes in there with their big guns and their big helicopters in order to take out these two small Japanese dudes, snipe, super unnecessary. The fuck, man? I mean, think about this. You had 9. Oh, I have this trigger. This trigger is going to activate a bomb in a nuclear power plant. And the American, the dude on the phone, on the red phone, that real important phone that you don't want to pick up unless it's like the big honcho himself, Obama. He's like, yeah, well, you know, given what happened in the airport and the train station, we have no other choice. I'm like, dude! You would risk the lives of millions just to maintain your image. Fuck, that's fucked. Yo, that is massively messed up. We're talking about the way this episode ends off. In essence, the way the series is, it makes it seem like the Americans are the bad guy. Because they're just doing the most underhanded, sleazeball, slimy shit to get what they want, to maintain their image, to see if they can't, you know, to see if they can't have something over the Japanese. That's why they wanted 9 and 12 in the first place, so they can get information about the nuclear bomb, so then they can say to the world, hey, look at the Japanese, they're making nuclear bombs behind our back. They're trying to rise to power. Now I can see why the Rising Peace Academy did what they did. Because America is just a massive bully. Alright, like they are the dude in the playground, like the big dude. Like, yo, give me your lunch money. Or, like, give me your chocolate milk. Otherwise, yeah, noogie, yeah, give me your milk, man. I'm like, oh. Like, we're all growing boys and girls here. Why can't we share the milk? But, of course, not. America. White flag, yeah. I'm like, seriously. I said white flag. I meant American flag. Listen, man. Like, honestly, like, I'm going to pack my stuff up right now and just move to Japan. Like, like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like, yo, this episode, think about it if you live in Japan, alright? This series, it gives you a certain mindset. It does. And whether or not that was the intent, I don't know. But it does give a person who lives in Japan a certain mindset. Maybe trying to strive for greater when it comes to independence, when it comes to amassing military might in the country of Japan. And because technically Japan, they have one of the best economies in the world. I mean, granted, they have other issues, like, for example, I think according to some statistics, their population is going to wind up declining at an extraordinary rate. Like, there's more older folk than younger folk in Japan. And then there's issues when it comes to, like, people not really actually, like, engaging in relationships on a more frequent basis than what it used to be. Stuff like that. So, even though the country has issues, from an economic standpoint, they're doing very well. So, if they were to amass military might, that would shock the world. That would scare the world. Again, I said before. But, at the same time, you can see why they would do that. And the Americans coming in there, being the bullies, flexing their muscles, and making the Japanese look like just cowards, making the Japanese look weak and pathetic, the scrawny dude in the corner that gets no pussy, obviously, you kind of feel bad for them. And then you're like, ooh, like, I can see why they want to start using steroids. Because they want to fight the bigger guy. I can see that. So, yeah. So, even though Rise of Peace Academy at the end of the episode, because like, it's like the two old dudes. So the two old dudes, they're at the end of their life. So pretty much they're going to go to prison or jail, whatever, some facility, whatever. Because I think, a year passes, so clearly their technology, all the electronic devices clearly went back online. But beforehand, we don't know exactly how Shibasaki found, he found them, but he found them through maybe some other means. But either way, they were shut down for a period of time because of the EMP, which was an EMP, so that Call of Duty was spot on. So, obviously, point here is that they got back online, and then the world found out about the Rise of Peace Academy and what they did with the kids. And they may have found out about the bomb as well, the atomic bomb that the Japanese were creating behind the backs of of the world. But the American image is still maintained, right? It is still clean, baby-ass smooth. We're talking about them never knowing, because Shibasaki probably has an idea, but he can't really confirm it. 9 and 12, they know for sure it was the Americans who actually manipulated the whole train situation to where people would have died had not they intervened. It was the Americans who planted a bomb in the airport, on the plane, where if the plane had crashed into the actual terminal, people, at least 100 people would have died. At least, I don't doubt it. So, again, America, willing to sacrifice the lives of other people across the world to maintain their agenda and maintain their image. To maintain the American empire, if you would. And again, this series does... Oh man. Just saying. So, I didn't really say anything in that sentence. I just said, man, just say. Whatever. So, overall, the episode. The animation is, as usual, fantastic, beautiful. The EMP itself was, it was good. That was a well-animated scene. And then when you have the, I think it's called, like, the Aurora or something like that. The, radiation going into, like, the magnetosphere, and then it has the Northern Lights thing going on. I forgot the exact name. I want to say an Aurora, but again, I'm not too sure. But that was all very nice. And even though it was a sad scene, the animation where 12 gets shot is pretty nice as well. And when 12 gets shot, consider the fact that 12 and 9 are practically brothers. Honestly, like, if you had a brother that was taken out in that fashion and you guys are close, like, I would press that button. I'm like, yo, fuck, it's over. I would have pressed that button immediately. Like, whatever. I mean, I understand that there's a greater message to be told, and 9 didn't know that he was going to die because when he starts to hold his head, because apparently he was feeling the effects of all of the time he spent in the Rise of the Peace Academy now, which to me I found very abrupt. I found very random. The fact that now he was feeling these effects. Where throughout the series, all of the mental strain that 9 had suffered from appeared to be from a dream of him failing to save someone, which you find later on is 5, and then him actually meeting 5 for like the first time, or realizing that it was 5. Like the first time when he realized that it was 5 who was the one who was manipulating the whole train scene, and he starts to hold his head, and he's not really aware of what's going on for a period of time, and his laptop is being hacked. So that's where most of his mental strain comes from. They all correlate with 5. But now all of a sudden he gets it, and then now he dies like almost immediately after he gets it. It's kind of weird. So I theorize that in that scene, even though we don't see the shot, he probably got killed too by good old-fashioned America. So, I mean, that's what I theorized. And then there's that symbolic scene at the end where you have like the 2 black birds, which I think represent 9 and 12. And then you have the white bird, the pure bird, Lisa, who is innocent in all this stuff. So like the black birds, they're tainted, and then she's pure, but she follows them anyway. Something like that. So I mean, that's what I see it as. But either way, the point here is that when it came to that scene particularly, it was well animated. Then when it came to the pacing, it was pretty good pacing. And then they do end off on a very somber note. You have Lisa praying to the graves of all of the kids who are in that facility, including 9 and 12 and 5. And then she leaves. You have Shibasaki going there to send his regards. We find out what Vone means. And then Vone apparently is a word in Icelandic that means hope. So that has that. So that wraps up as well. That whole like music from a cold land and Vone. So, and that's pretty much it. So overall, the series I think has been a real treat. I do like it. I would actually recommend it to people who are trying to get into anime because it is a series that's on a very serious note. In the States, normally more or less, if you're going to try and get someone to anime, you're going to try and go for the more serious, more mature stuff. And even though you have characters that are young adults, 17, 18, 19, it's still a very serious series with a lot of hidden messages and a lot of themes that can be considered mature, not just per se torture or blood and gore. Like, you don't have to have blood and gore and massive death and bodies, and you don't have to have that in order to be considered mature. And Zankyou no Terror is a pretty mature series, in my personal opinion. Though it has its quirky moment, it does have its quirky moments like every other anime, but still, that's just what it is. So overall, the series I love, and the episode I think is a good episode to end off on. Just the shock value, where you have a certain mindset where maybe 12 and Lisa are going to be fine, and then you find out, no, they're going to turn themselves in anyway. So, okay, fine, so 12 and 9, they're going to go to prison. Wrong, they both die. And again, the only problem here I have is the fact that 9 just seemingly died from the headache that he got. But in actuality, it's probably like the cops, I'm pretty sure that like the U.S. Army shot him. That's my assumption. So overall, the episode, I think it's fantastic. I'm going to give it amazing. And I will see you guys later. Well, actually, not really, because it's over. Well, okay, no, here's what I'll do. I will do a series overview of Zankyou no Terror at some point in the future. I can't guarantee when, to be quite honest, because I'm a very busy guy. Alright, 21 credit hours, 7 classes, I'm a busy motherfucker. But thing here is that I do want to do it. And when I do it, even though I won't get, let's say, as many people watching the video, I do want to talk about a lot of the concepts that the series is founded on. A lot of the more mature themes, and how it is very important because it does give you insight on how at least some Japanese folk feel today when it comes to their world standing. So that's it. King Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace, and I'll see you then.